Skrull apocalypse happened. Alright, you guys, I am back in Austin. This pocket is so high up. Anyway, I am back in Austin and I just wanted to do this review to talk about Decadence, Arizona. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10, maybe. Not the best, but not the worst. That was my 4th Decadence, so I'm speaking a little bit from experience here. Let's get into this. I don't even know where to really start. One, I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog part. Sorry I didn't vlog as much. Like I said, I just wanted to enjoy some time with my friends and showing Ryan Arizona and the Arizona rave scene and all that stuff. Through everything that I talked about, he had a really great time and I had a really great time and my friends had a really great time all together. Can't say the same for a lot of people, unfortunately, and we will talk about that. Like I said, this was my 4th time going and it was probably my favorite time aside from the first time I ever went, because the first time I ever went was one of like it was like my 2nd event I ever went to, but it's like the first rave or festival that I consider like the one where I really fell in love with it. Decadence, Arizona will always hold a special place in my heart and I always want to see this festival get better. I think I love New Year's festivals the most because it's just the best way to ring in the new year. You know, you're with your friends, you're hearing some great music and you're just having an awesome time and you get to forget about whatever happened in the past year and just have a new fresh start. New Year's festivals have always hold a special place in my heart. I told myself I wasn't going to Decadence, Arizona for the 4th time and then I ended up there. Ended up working out. I loved the artist. Logistically, it was just better for me to go to Decadence, Arizona and it was just good to see all my friends again and it was just one big happy reunion. Let's talk about what happened this weekend. If you weren't there, you probably saw a lot of people take to Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff to talk about how interesting it was. So if you are not from Arizona, you don't really know the lay of the land of Rawhide and how that all goes. If you're coming from like Southern California or California in general, where you're used to like Nas Event Center, Rawhide is very different from that and it's not as big of a space as Nas Event Center. If you're coming from Texas, nothing like any of the venues that they utilize for Texas events as well. And so a lot of people did come to Arizona because of this lineup and because of Skrillex and certain other artists that were huge draws to coming to Arizona. The layout of the venue, they did change it up. This layout has never been utilized before. If you went to Decadence, Arizona, there you saw that there's a big warehouse in Rawhide. That has been, when I first went to Decadence in 2015, that was main stage. And then outside they had a 2nd stage that was just a tent. They utilized that big grass area for a tent for 2016. And then the 2nd stage was in the warehouse. That was probably the best layout, which I will get to. That layout was really great for that year. I really had no complaints about Decadence 2016. If I think about it, I think I did get a little claustrophobic at one point. Decadence 2017, they switched it back. Main stage was in the warehouse. Again, the 2nd stage was outside and then they added a 3rd stage. And the 2nd stage was not necessarily in the middle of the grass area. It was kind of like pushed back. That might have had to deal with some sound issues probably from the year before, which I never really noticed, but that's my best guess. The issue with that was switching back was that main stage being back in the warehouse was so packed, guys. Like it was so packed. Another issue I had with that year was that everything was eye level. So like the DJ was eye level. So me being 5'4" and my other short friends could not see the stage at all that entire time. Even like I had to go all the way in the back and even then I couldn't see the DJs. Like I could really only see the visuals. That one was a hard time because they had, the way that they set up VIP is that it just didn't leave any room for exits. And you kind of just have to follow the train to get out of the crowd. So as we're kind of seeing this progression happen, this year Relentless Beats decided to switch it up. They decided to build a tent again, which a lot of people were really excited to hear about that. Like, yay, main stage isn't in the warehouse. Thank God. Like, we're not gonna be packed. It's gonna be great. Like, we're gonna have an awesome time. Sorry, I'm so popular. No kidding. They released the layout for Decadence, like the map. When I looked at this map, I'll put it here, I was honestly confused. I was like, where is this even gonna be? Like, as someone that's been to so many events in Rawhide, I was like so confused. They had the big tent, but then the Sapphire Ballroom like didn't look like the warehouse. It just looked like a room. I was like, where is this gonna be placed? So this was like a total surprise to me as to what was actually gonna happen. I noticed that they also like had some different route changes and traffic was gonna be different than normal. So they were testing out different things here, which does that contribute probably to what happened this weekend? Probably, because you have huge crowds coming in from out of state, don't know Rawhide, who don't know Arizona, stuff like that, and you're testing out all this new stuff. We get there, the first day, our group got there pretty early. We got there maybe closer to 5. The usual lot that party buses used to drop off in basically was where main stage is now. So they basically took the warehouse and extended it across the street and built this huge tent in this dirt lot that looked pretty cool. I was like, okay, this looks awesome. Like walking up to it, looks great, excited to see how this is gonna go, whatever. You basically, from where they dropped us off, we had to walk all the way to the warehouse. So it was like, it was a really long walk, which is fine, you know what, like whatever. And so then we get through security, everything's a-okay. Big grass area is just set up like normal, like they have water tents, they have the ranger outpost, and you can go into the warehouse. That was the second stage. Outside of the warehouse, before you cross the street to go to the main stage, there was like rides, there was a third stage, VIP areas, there was food, stuff like that. And then you cross the street, so this is like the now extended part that wasn't there before. You cross the street and then you go into this other lot where the main stage was, and there was like a Ferris wheel, there were heaters set up, there was everything looked good. Everything was like, okay, this is cool, this seems fun, like we'll see how this turns out, whatever. Then we go into the tent, and one thing I really noticed that was really cool is that they put up these screens on the outside of the tent, and they put up screens at the end of VIP up so that you could watch the stage. So if you wanted to hang out in the back is your jam, you want to hang out there, you could look at the screens. I thought this was a really cool addition. This is something that they've never done before, and I was like, cool, dope. And then it was all VIP section, and then all the middle area was like the crowd, the general admission crowd, whatever, with the sound booth, and then like it's split down the middle basically. One thing I noticed was that this tent was pretty narrow in comparison to the tent in 2016. Another thing I noticed is that there was no exit at the front. So in 2016, there was an exit out up front between the stage and the VIP area, which for a group like us that always likes to hang out in the front, this was great. We could just hop on into the crowd and get in and out. Like if I needed to go get water, I could go do that. This you had to do the same thing that we did the year before and funnel out up alongside the crowd, in between the crowd and VIP, basically sandwiched. So you had to like tunnel yourself through in and out. Didn't think was gonna be a big deal until Skrill Apocalypse happened. Yeah, Skrillex caused a riot. I told my group, like, I want to be with you guys, but I would like to be in the back. I would like to be in the back. And someone in our group was like,
no, we have friends up at the right, like the back right speaker, like it's gonna be fine, like it'll be okay.
Like whatever, and I was like,
no, I want to be in the back.
So I sucked it up. I was like, you know what, like Ryan wants to go, I'm gonna go, like cause it's his weekend too. So we go. Getting to our friends just at the right speaker, this was like 10 minutes before Skrillex was on, was a nightmare. Everyone was just pushing, like it was nothing like I've experienced before. We all just were like sardines, and I'm like, this is not gonna be enjoyable. Like it's Skrillex, like I want to like go crazy, you know? And it was just not gonna be enjoyable, I could already tell. And so we were just chilling, I was holding on to my little totem for dear life, and people just kept on pushing. Luckily, like I had Ryan and I had my friend Troy like right by me, and they were up against the like lines of people. They were kind of protecting us and the rest of the group, but man, people just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing because it's Skrillex and they forgot their manners, and oh my god. Oh, also, as we were getting into the crowd, I saw several friends leave the crowd being like, nope, that we're not dealing with that, we're getting out of this crowd, like we're going to the back, like hey, turn around now. Like, they were warning me, and I was just like,
you know, I'm gonna suck it up and be with my friends, like whatever, and with my little totem, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be fine, like it's fine, it's fine, it's fine,
even though all the signs were telling me it wasn't gonna be fine. Anyway, Skrillex starts, I can't see a thing. I thought the stage was pretty high up. I could see like Gigi McGree pretty well, and I could see like the other artists that I saw before, I don't even remember, but I thought that was pretty high up. But that was another like feedback that I've been getting, is that the stage stage was not that high up and they barely saw any artists the whole weekend, which yeah, probably same for me. I gave my phone to Ryan, he recorded a video. We lasted maybe 10 minutes in Skrillex and then we were like, okay, we're out. So then we ended up just like trailing out and people were still pushing to get in and we were just pushing, trying to get out and like trying to be as nice as possible. And like if someone like pushed right by me, I would yell at them and be like, say excuse me, hello, we're people too, like it's not just you here. It was something like I've never experienced. Like that is not Arizona crowd. I don't know if it was out of staters. I don't know if it was a crowd from the lineup. I don't know. I can't tell you. Well, we're gonna get more into that. We ended up going outside of Skrillex, outside of the tent when it was freezing, and we just watched the rest of the set from the back right screen that we could see from the end of the tent. We all were just like, that was not worth it, and it sucks that we paid money for this. That was just not fun. And so we were like, you know what, we're just gonna shake it off. We're gonna have a great rest of our time, whatever. And so we did. We just moved on, and honestly, that was probably the down point of my weekend. And you guys know, like, I can't stay at one stage for too long. Kind of learned my lesson from there, and then I just went to other artists, or I went to the other stage a lot, or if I wanted to go to main stage for a set, I just hung out in the back. After Skrillex, it was a little bit more spread out. One thing I will say is that they didn't put anyone comparable to Skrillex at the same time. Like Solardo is an awesome DJ. I wanted to go see them. They're gonna be at Holy Ship. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see Skrillex because I'm gonna see Solardo in like a week. But like, I love house music. If you don't like house music, if you're not into tech house, any like that, you're not gonna be at Solardo's set, you know? So they didn't put anyone comparable. Not that they should have, because like everyone would be pissed if they put like someone just as awesome at the same time. But I don't even know like who else on the lineup they could have put that would have helped that crowd, you know? Because it's Skrillex and everyone's like saying it's his comeback, whatever. All in all, that was probably the worst part of my weekend, which in reality was only 5% probably of the entire weekend. So I had a great rest of the time. I feel terrible for other people who didn't have a great rest of their weekend. I saw people that tweeted about getting trampled, and if you were one of those people, I'm so sorry about that. Like, I truly feel for you. You pay a ton of money to go to these festivals, and to have something like that happen to you and just to get completely disrespected by a ton of people should not happen. It's something that's like been really bothering me, hearing about like all the feedback about Decadence Arizona, just because this is where I fell in love with raving and where I fell in love with festivals, and it's because of the people. And I don't know what happened, and I don't think it's a problem with Arizona. It's just a problem with the community in general, that whether you're from Arizona, whether you were from out of state and coming to Decadence, no matter where you come from, you should just be treating everyone with respect. And I think if it's an age difference, if it's like the younger crowd coming in, I don't know what it is. It's just something that's on us to teach people. Like, some people might just be like pushing through, and if someone's pushing through, you stop them and you say, hey, calm down, say excuse me, you know? Like, it shouldn't be on us to do that, but that's like kind of at the point where our community is at. And I feel in my position and my platform and the way I've been talking to people this past weekend is that I feel like it's my job to just bring this to people's attention, that we just have to treat everyone with respect, you know? Like, at the end of the day, we have to treat everyone with respect, but we have to keep on passing that down. People taught us how to have etiquette and how to plur and how to do all these things at festivals, so it's on us to keep it going, you know? And we can only do so much, and I don't think it's fair to blame Relentless for the crowd. I think it's fair to blame them for an unsafe layout or for logistics not going well. But for a crowd, there's nothing they can do about that. The lineup will draw whatever crowd it comes. It's up to us to just keep on spreading those positive vibes and respect that we all are demanding, you know? It's up to us to do that. So that's just my little spiel about that, because it's been on my mind, and I hope you can understand, and I hope you can agree that it sucks, but at the end of the day, you just gotta keep going and keep a positive mindset. Like, our friend said, yeah, that was pretty shitty, but we still enjoyed Skrillex from outside the tent, and we still all had a great time with each other, and we made the most of it, you know? We still had my totem, so we can meet up and still hang out. We all ring in the new year together and whatever. It's hard to just like not let that weigh down your experience, but you have to just move past it, you know? Like I said, that was 5% of my entire weekend, and I can't say the same for others, because maybe they stayed at main stage the whole time and the crowd just kept on getting worse depending on what artist it was. And I'm sorry if that happened to you. I really am. It sucks. What else was there? That was just on the layout. Other things, it was cold. Again, Relentless can't control the weather, so that was up to you to bundle up, look at the forecast. I bundled up as much as I could. They did have heaters. Some of them did go out, and it was also raining on the second day, so it was just a matter of bundling up, hanging out in the warehouse, cuddling up with your friends and all that stuff. Some other logistics that I fortunately did not experience was security and ID check and stuff like that. I know that they were very strict about the totems. They did make one of my friends break her pole so she could get it in because it was over 6 feet. So they made her break her pole. That was an interesting story I heard. Some other people had to entirely just throw away their totem because there was no way to break the pole, or they just didn't want to bring a poster board in and hold it the whole time. I heard on day 2, ID check and like security overall took over 2 hours if you were getting to the venue around like maybe 6-7 o'clock. Our group got there at like 5:30, so I got straight through really quickly. So I'm sorry to those that happened to. Again, New Year's Eve traffic is always just gonna be crazy. There's gonna be more people on New Year's Eve, and also I think with the weather, a lot of people probably waited it out for the rain to stop because the rain did stop at like 8 o'clock. So I think people were waiting for that to happen, and so by the time the rain was like kind of slowing down, everyone just mobbed to the gates. I've been hearing some feedback about getting better people to check IDs, better people for security, better people for all that stuff. Hopefully Relentless is just taking all this feedback into how they can improve the event. Another thing was that with this new layout did bring some new traffic patterns, and just on top of New Year's Eve, traffic anyway was probably not the best. I know some people were waiting 3 hours just on the freeway just to get to Rawhide. I know I shouldn't be apologizing. I just feel bad for those people that are hoping to have a good experience at Decadence and something just kind of threw a wrench in it. I hope you had a great time otherwise. Let's see. So I think overall it was just a combination of different things. It was testing out this new layout, the weather, the crowd, like all of these things just accumulated into a bad experience for a lot of people. And what sucks is that most of the time these vocal people are like the most negative ones, you know? So a lot of people who didn't go to Decadence Arizona, they've been texting me, they've been messaging me, they've been like, what happened at Decadence? And I'm just like, it's a lot to talk about, you know? Not to say it was a terrible event. It wasn't a terrible event. Like, and if you think it was a terrible event, then like you just let the negative things just kind of pack on and whatever. But I still had a really great time, and I still think it was a really great event. Like, we rang in the new year with chef. That's why I was like, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Like, I still had a great time. It was probably my favorite Decadence I've been to. Just being with all my friends and showing my boyfriend Arizona and everything, and he had a great time. It's done. What's done is done. All we can hope for is that Relentless has taken this feedback in. If you didn't like Decadence Arizona, then there are other New Year's Eve festivals to go check out. I think if you did come to Arizona for the first time, I will say that that was not representative of like the Arizona community at all. The AZ community is what made me love festivals so much, so it hurts my heart so much when people think that that's what represents us, because that is not. If you want to see what a real Arizona event is like, go to Gold Rush, go to Phoenix Lights. Like, those two events I feel like are very indicative of what the scene is like. People are just so sweet and so awesome. That's it. I'm done talking about it. We're moving past it. You can comment down below your thoughts about it, your experience about it, what you heard about it, whatever. That's all we're talking about. I hate talking about it and being so negative, but there is just a lot of factors that happened that we needed to talk about. Decadence will continue to improve. Relentless Beats has only been around for so long. Everything that they've done, they just keep on learning and they keep on growing. They're not Insomniac, you know? So they're just continuing to grow the scene in Arizona and continuing to provide those events that with the artists that we love. That's just my 2 cents on it. All right, let's get into the music. I have my little book here. I'm just gonna write it down so I don't forget. A lot of you are gonna be like, well, what about this artist and what about that artist? Well, let me be real with you for a second. I didn't see many of the main headliner acts because I have seen them a lot, or I just seen them at Freaky Deaky or at ACL. So you know what? Your little girl here, Aid, was going to some new things and she was having a grand old time. I did manage to see artists that I've never seen before, which it always makes my heart so happy. First set I'm going to talk about, this is kind of in no order, maybe, I don't know. If you were at Schism back-to-back Trampa and you survived, just give this video a like, you know? Like, let me know that you're alive, let me know that you're okay, because my neck is still sore. I was like holding the totem and somehow I still managed to hurt my neck. Like, I was not trying to like headbang, but my neck was hurting. Oh my god, you guys. This set was insane. insane. And I went to it because I saw them in EDC 2017 and that set was insane. And so I was like, I only can imagine what they're gonna do tonight. Bonkers. I did leave Porter. I saw the beginning of Porter, so no one kill me. I'm still a Porter stan here. He's still my number one. But I went to Schism back-to-back Trimpa and best decision. A set that really surprised me was actually Gigi McGree. She was on day one and she was like one of the first. She was like, I think the second or the third artist of the day. She killed it. Oh my God. I was so surprised by this set. She was just like banger after banger after banger. Like, oh my God. She's definitely one to watch in 2019, which I think I talked about in that video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Yeah, she killed it. It was just like a high energy set. Like she never let the energy drop and I love those sets. She didn't really play any original music, but that's kind of what you have to do. Up and coming artists, especially I feel like a woman in the scene, is that you just have to play a really good kick-ass set so that when you do come out with original music and whatnot, like people will be digging it. And I dig that, you know, I appreciate the hustle. So another one, I saw 4B for the first time. Yes, so I missed 4B at EDC. He was at the same time as Jaws, which Jaws is one of my favorite artists, so like couldn't miss that. And then he was at Freaky Deaky. He was at the same time as someone. He conflicted with another person and I was like, well, I'm not gonna be there. So I finally, third time's a charm, got to see 4B and I was thriving. Like it was literally everything I hoped for and more. It's like he knew I was there, you guys, because he played Losing It by Fisher and then literally the next song was Chicken Soup by Skrillex and then he played Ghost Voices. Everyone was just looking at me like, oh my God, Aid, like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm so happy. Like, who does that? Oh, we love that. Last but not least, Annie Up, of course, because I saw Chris Lake for the 7th time. Unfortunately, not in 2018. It was technically 2019, you guys. So I saw Chris Lake for the first time in 2019. Saw Annie Up for the 2nd time overall. Saw Chris Lake for the 7th time overall. And yeah, that was the first set of 2019 and it was amazing. I love him. I love them. I'm gonna be seeing Chris Lake next week at Holy Ship and I'm gonna be thriving. I'm so excited. Those were like my top sets for the weekend. Oh, who I rang in 2019 with. I went to DJ Diesel and saw DJ Diesel back-to-back Nightmare, which Shaq as a DJ was insane. Insane. I'll never get over that. Like he also brought out Kobe Bryant casual. Like that's so cool. The camera keeps on doing this that after I've recorded for like 20 something minutes it turns off, which maybe is a sign that I need to stop talking, but I'm gonna cut a lot of this out anyway. Anyway, yeah, Shaq was dope. If you have a chance to go see DJ Diesel, I highly recommend it. Who else? Oh, my thoughts on the Skrillex set, because you guys are all wondering. I hate being a snob about this. His Coachella 2017 Dewlap surprise set was better. I don't know, it just felt so like disjointed and it felt like very like, I don't know, it just didn't flow very well to me. Maybe because I was just in such a chaotic mood from like getting out of that stage, but like, I don't know. And then it got very like mainstreamy. I don't know. I felt like I really liked his Dewlap set better if he just like got way more into like dubstep and other stuff too. I don't know. I left feeling kind of like, yeah, that was great. Cool. Good for Skrillex. He's back. I'm excited to see what he'll do in 2019, you know? I don't know. That's just my opinion. As always, these are always just my opinion and gathering info from what I see on social media and whatnot. So take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap up this video because I'm sure it's longer than what you expected. This review part was a little bit lengthier, but there's a lot of controversy and a lot of things going on about Decadence, Arizona that I felt like I needed to talk about it. And as influencer and content creator in the space, it's just something I need to talk about. But yeah, I am wishing you guys all a great 2019. I hope whatever you did ring it in with all your friends, surrounded by your loved ones and all that shenanigans. Up next, I'm going to Holy Ship. I literally leave in less than a week. This time next week, I'm gonna be on a boat. This is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. So this time, Wednesday, next week, I'm gonna be on a boat. Oh my God. If everyone could just send good vibes that I meet Chris Lake or Fisher or whatever, that would be great. But if not, give this video a thumbs up. If you liked it, you wanna see more like it. Comment down below if you went to Decadence, Arizona and what your thoughts are. Would love to hear it. I had a great time aside all the mishaps, and I'm sorry if you did not have a great time. I'm just sorry. That's all I can really say. Hit that subscribe button to join the little vibe tribe. I love you guys so, so much. Amidst all the chaos, I forgot to say thank you so much if you guys came and found me at Decadence. Like, you guys make my whole world go round, and all the candy, all the kind words, literally everything made it all worth it. So I love you guys so, so much. Thank you all for the support. I love you guys. You can also continue and follow my festival adventures at Vibe with Aid. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.